Hello friends, today we will learn close, comparison, operators, substitute variables, verify and define commands. First we will learn where close. Here you can see a query that is used by select employee ID, last name, job ID, department ID from employees. If we write this query on SQL command line prompt, then it gives the whole result, that is employee ID, last name, job ID, department ID of the whole employees. But if we want to limited data, then we will use where clause. Here we understand the concept of where clause. Here you can see the whole data written by this query, the select query, and if we want limited data in this fetch data, then we use clause, where clause. Here you can see this, when we executed this query without the where clause, then it fetched the whole data. But if we use this query by using where clause, here we added where department ID is equal to 90, then we limited the data, and when we executed this query on this prompt, then it will return this. It means that it will return only the employee ID and the employees data from only where department ID is equal to 90. So we limited the data through where clause. The next is comparison operator. Here you can see the comparison operators. This sign denotes equal to, this greater than, this sign is greater than equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, between, and, in, like, and is null. Here we put some example of one each. Here you see the second example where we use comparison operator. You can see the query, select last name salary from employees table where salary is less than equal to 3000. It means we use the where clause and we use also comparison operators. When we executed this query on command line prompt, then it will return this. It means all the employees who have the salary is less than or equal to 3000 is fetched. You can see the output. Comparison operators are used in conditions that compare one expression to another value or expression. They are used in the where clause. Here we see the another example of comparison through between operator. Here you see the another example, another query of between operator, that is select last name salary from employees where salary between 2500 and 3500. It means we uses where clause through the between operator and the salary is between 2500 and 3500. Here we copy the salary and we executed this query on command line prompt and we get this. Here all the employees have salary is less than 3500 and greater than 2500. It means salary is between 2500 and 3500. This is the another example of comparison operator through we use between operator. This is the another example of in operator when we use select employee ID, last name, salary, manager ID from employees where manager ID in 100, 101 or and 201. It means in operator choose only those values who are in this column. Okay. Next, if we executed this query on command line prompt, it means we select the manager ID only 100, 101 and 201. Here when we executed this query, it means the manager ID is belongs only the command where we give manager ID in. you can see the input and the output. Here you see the input is select employee ID, last name, salary, manager ID from employees table, where manager ID is 100, 101 and 201. Here you can see all the manager IDs is belong to the in department, in operator. Pattern matching using the like operator. Use the like operator to perform wildcard searches of valid search string values. Such conditions can contain either literal characters or numbers. Here we see the example of like operator. You see they select first name from employees where first name like as percentage. These are the wildcards. There are two types of wildcards in like operator. The first is percentile. It means it denotes to 0 or many characters. And second is dash. This belongs to, it denotes to one character only. Here when we executed this query, like select first name from employees where first name like as percentile, it means the name, the first name is starting with S is to be fetched. That is to be fetched. Here when we executed this query, we got that select first name from employees where first name like S, it means the first capital letter is S. Here you see Sundar, Shelly, Sarah, Shelly, it means the first name is starting with S is to be fetched. Here you can see the another example of like operator. You can see the query that is select last name from employees where last name is like underscore O percentile, it means the second letter of the last name is O, and we use both the wildcard characters, that is percentile and underscore. You can see this. Here when we select this query and we executed this query on the SQL prompt, then we will get, you can see this select first name from employees where first name is like this. Sorry, we want to execute the next query, that is this. Copy and we want to run this query, that is means we want to run select last name from employees where last name is like underscore O percentile, it means the second letter of the last name is O. Here you can see the employees detail where every last name is having O and there is no matter the first letter and the others letter after the O. Here you can check every second word is O. So you can define, so we can define it that this underscore lefts only one character and this percentile is denotes 0 or many characters, 0 or many. Okay, the next is, here you can see another example of null operator, that is select last name manager ID from employees where manager ID is null. While we use the null operator, it is indicates with the is null and is not null. Here when we executed this query, we cleared the screen through the clear command. Here when we cleared the screen, we return the query select last name manager ID from employees where manager ID is null. It means it shows the manager ID it means it shows the last name manager ID from employees table where manager ID is null. Here you can see the king is the employee having null manager ID. If we executed this query through this, that if we want is not null. It means when we executed this query through is not null, it gives the query having the manager ID is not null. It means king is not here because we executed this query through not null. Okay. Here we see the another example. The another example is having the logical AND operator. When we having the query like this, we have the select employee ID, last name, job ID, salary from employees where salary is greater than equal to 10,000 and job ID is like this. It means we executed this query and we want two conditions in a single query. Then we use and we want both query is to be satisfied. When we use the logical AND, it is indicated that we want to satisfy both the conditions, that is salary is greater than equal to 10,000, that is the first condition. It means the first condition is this, here you can see this, and the second condition is this. And when we use the AND logical operator, it means both conditions to be filled. It means 1 is equal to 1. We indicated this through the boolean. Here we can draw also a logical table for the AND and OR and the NOT operator, but we can generate that if we use the logical AND operator, that both the conditions is to be satisfied. Here we select this query and we run on the command line prompt. Here when we written this query on the command line prompt, that is select employee ID, last name, job ID, salary from employees where salary is greater than equal to 10,000. It means when we select these, all the employees having the salary is greater than equal to 10,000 and having the job ID like man, that is to be fetched only. It means all the employees having the salary is greater than equal to 10,000 and having the job ID like man. It means these are all are the managers. Okay. Next, we use the logical operator, logical OR operators. It means that the first, this is the first condition, that is the salary is greater than equal to 10,000 and job ID like man. It means only one condition is to be satisfied in OR logical operator. In AND logical operator, both conditions must be satisfied. In OR logical operators, only one condition is to be satisfied. It means if we executed this query, here we select this query and we executed this on command line prompt. Here we have, you can see both conditions is to be satisfied in AND operator, but if we use OR, one condition is satisfied in each. If it is not manager, then maybe salary is greater than equal to 10,000, and if not, salary is not matched, then job ID is like to be manager. Now we check the next logical operator, that is not logical operator. When we use the not logical operator, that is we have the query select last name, job ID from employees where job ID is not in IT program, ST clerk and SA research. It means we don't want the job ID is IT programmer, ST clerk and SA reception. When we use this, we select the logical operator. It means it gives the vice versa. When we executed this query, and this gives the vice versa. It means it doesn't give IT programmer, ST clerk and SA reception. You can see and check the here. there is nothing which given in this column, that is IT program, ST clerk and SL receptionist. If we want to check, we can see the logical operators through the logical table. Here we can check this. If we discuss about AND logical table, it means there are 4 possibilities, that is 0, 1, 0, 1. These are the conditions. Okay, if we want to AND, apply AND, and here we want OR. Okay, when we executed AND on 0, 0, it means both condition is to be satisfied. It means it gives 0. And in OR it also gives 0, because one condition is to be satisfied. In AND there is both condition is to be satisfied, so it also gives 0. In this third one it also gives 0, because in AND logical operator it's only wants that both conditions is to be satisfied. In only last one, that is to be satisfied by AND logical operator, it means it gives 1, because both the logical operators to be satisfied. But in OR operator only one condition is to be checked, it means the one is true and then it gives 1. Here this is the difference between AND logical operator and OR logical operator. You can see if one condition is to be satisfied, then OR is right. Okay, but if instead of giving the only one condition is to be satisfied, AND gives only one where both condition is to be satisfied. In NOT operator it gives only 2. There are 2 possibilities, that is 0. If it is 0 it gives 1, if it is 1 it gives 0. That is a Boolean table of AND, OR and NOT logical operators. Okay, here you can see the another example of order by clause. We have a query that is select last name, job ID, department ID, hire date from employees. We want to execute this query on command line prompt. We have to clear this. We cleared the screen and we executed this query, select last name, job ID, department ID, hire date from employees. We executed this query. You can check this. That is NULL is hire date is 2007, 2008, 2003. There is no order in hire date. If we want to order these this through hire date, okay, then what will we do? We just write the order by clause. Here you can see the query. We have the query that is to be, we want employees detail through order by hire date. You can see the previous query that is to be this select last name, job ID, department ID, hire date from employees, and we add order by hire date. It means we want to order the employees detail with hire date. Here you can check this. We will give the this command, that is select last name, job ID, department ID, order by hire date. It means it will hire the employees data into the hire date. You can check this 2001, 2002, 2003, 4 5 6 7 8. This is ascending order. If we want this same query in descending order, then we use DESC. It means we want the employees data order by hire date in descending order. Then when we executed this query, this will fetch the data and return the data with the hire date, order by hire date, and in descending order. Here 2008 is the latest and the highest date when the employee is to be hired. Here you can check this. This is a descending format. It is by default it is ascending format. If we want to rewrite this query, that is select last name, job ID, department ID, hire date, order by hire date, and we want to manually check ascending order, then we will use ASC. That is, it means we want to ascending order. Here you can check this. If we don't write the ASC, it will give the ascending order, but if we manually input the query in ascending order, then we can also use ASC command. Here we can check the another command. We also say that the DSC is sorting type. Okay. Next we will learn about single ampersand substitution variable. What is substitution variable? When we want to manually input from the user, then we will use substitution variable. Substitution variable takes the input at runtime. It means when the query is executed to the user, then there is a substitution variable which takes input from the user at running time. There are two types of substitution variable. First is ampersand, single ampersand, and second is double ampersand. Single ampersand is store data at temporary moment or a temporary time, while the double ampersand takes the data and read the data and store data for the next time. Here we have a query of single ampersand substitution variable. Select employee ID, last name, salary, department ID from employees, where employee ID is equal to ampersand employee number. When we executed this query on our command line prompt, we cleared the screen and we executed this query here. You can see it want enter value for employee number. If we want employee number 190, then it gives employee ID is 190, last name Gates, salary is 290, and department ID is 50. Okay. If we give double ampersand instead of single ampersand, then it will take the value at once only and it will store the data into the sessions. That if we give 190 and when we execute this query again in the double ampersand, then it will not ask for value again, it will only print it. It means when we executed a single ampersand here you can see this, if we executed the single ampersand, it will ask for value and we will give 190. When we give the double ampersand, it will also ask for the employee number and we all again return 190. But when we again return the double ampersand, it will not ask any value because it already stored number sessions. Okay, and it will only print this query. Here the employee ID is 190. You can see this. It is 190 and it will print the same output as the before, because the employee ID is same, because it's stored in the sessions. Here is the last define command. When we want to define any number, that is we want to define employee number is equal to 200, we define it on the number. We clear the screen. We clear the screen and we define the employee number, that is 200. Okay, next we give this. Here you can see we select employee ID, last name, salary, department ID from employees, where employee ID is equal to ampersand employee number. It means we want from the user what is the employee number, and user defined already the employee number is equal to 200. It means it will not ask for employee number, it will automatically print, because we define the employee number is equal to 200. When we executed this query, it will give the employee ID is equal to 200, and when we again executed this query, it will also print it. It means it defined the employee number in the sessions, like double ampersand. When we release the data, we uses the command that is undefined employee number. When we executed this query, here it will undefine the employee number, and when we executed the query that is select employee ID, it will ask for the employee number, because it will release the employee number. You can check this, enter value for employee number, that is 190, and here you can see the output is different, because we define employee number is equal to 200 and it will store in the sessions. And when we give the single ampersand, it means we want to use temporary employee number, it already have an employee number in this session. Okay, so it will not ask to the user and it will print out. But when we want to release this, we use undefined command, that is undefined employee number, and it will ask for another employee number, that is 190, and when we executed this query, this will print this. Okay, thank you for watching our videos. Please subscribe, like and comment.